Hey guys, good evening. Happy Sunday, my beautiful people. How is everybody doing, Obodo fam? Thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you, everyone in the comment section. I see you guys, you've been busy, you've been chatting. I feel like this comment section is a community of its own now. Like, people know people. People actually know people there, and the conversation just goes on even before we begin the show. Oh, this is great stuff. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in tonight. I appreciate you. If you have not yet liked this video, give it a thumbs up. You know how we do. I appreciate your subscription. It's completely free. Give this video a thumbs up. Like the video so that it can be recommended. And if you have not yet subscribed, YouTube subscription is 100% free. They know they charge you now. Make una subscribe. Make una subscribe. Okay, some people will say I didn't subscribe before, but now I'm coming to you because I need your help. And they try not to hold that against them, but it's not good. It's not really good. It's not when you need somebody's help that you should support them. Me, I can equally say I'm not going to take your story because you did not support me on the channel. So make una they do good. It's free. It's free. If you can't give something that is free away, haba. Wow. Subscription is free. Oh, I beg my people. They here every day. They shout, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. So thank you all so much, those who are subscribed. My Widow fam, I welcome you to tonight's show. God bless you all. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Yeah, we have a very, very peculiar story to share with you tonight. And I've got my lady who is my guest tonight. Her name is Amanda. In the studio, she's here now waiting to tell her story. And as usual, just a little bit of housekeeping. Please, guys, she's feeling very vulnerable at the moment. She's anxious. I want to appeal to you to be kind. Put on your heart of compassion. Everybody makes a mistake. There's something she's going to say that some of you will not like. But trust me, I've already told her off. I'm the kind of person that believes in, if you want to, if you want to tell somebody something they did is not right, don't do it in public, do it privately. I've already told her off about one particular bit of this story that I found very, very, I was not happy with. So please just know that I've already given her a piece of my mind about it. Try to be kind. I beg you. Okay. Amanda has come here today to ask for help. She needs to get her kids back. Okay. Her children have been taken away from her by someone she was married to. She lives here in the UK and she's trying to get them back. She has no contact with them. He doesn't allow her to see them. He doesn't allow her to talk to them. She doesn't know their whereabouts. And they have just, boom, like they disappear with another woman. Okay? So if you are a woman here today, what you should think about is that having your own kids, especially for those who are mothers, how would you feel if somebody takes your children away to be with another woman to be raising them while you are alive? Let that sink in for a minute, okay? So please bear that in mind. It is not an easy thing because it is only a woman that went through labor. You carried these babies in your womb for 9 months. You went through that rigorous thing called labor. Hey, that thing is the most painful thing in this world, to push a baby out of a human being out of your body. Ha! Hey, the pain is too much. Oh, only those who have been through it know it is not something that's why some mothers, most mothers, their children are their lives because of the pain they went through in bringing these children to life. So please be kind to her and let's support her and see what we can do to support and help her in this process. So help me to welcome Amanda.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I'm just a bit nervous. I'm not very good at public speaking, but I have to do it anyway because I need to get my children back.
Right, you're welcome, Amanda. Don't worry, they can't see you. That's what you think about it. They're not seeing you, okay? So
Okay.
you are by yourself. It's basically you talking to your phone now. All right. It's like having a
Yeah.
conversation with your phone. Nobody can see you. So that will help with some of the anxiety that you are feeling. Okay.
Okay.
You're welcome, my darling. Right. Tell us a little bit about your situation. How did you meet your ex-husband and why are we here today?
Yeah, so we met in 2009 when I came to the UK to do my master's, and we met at a wedding, and it wasn't very serious until, well, we started dating a few months later, and it progressed, and in 2010 we got married. And then afterwards we had in the process of in the during the marriage we had three children. um yeah, so the marriage initially was okay, but there were little signs of him being very controlling. Like I'll be on the phone talking to, if I'm very happy on the phone, gisting with my friends, he would interrupt my call. Like he'll come with his phone saying, oh, his mom is on the phone, she needs to speak to me, and he knows I'm on another call, so I'll have to end that call to speak to his mom. And those little signs were there. And then it progressed from him doing that to we'll go to a party, for instance, and then maybe I'm very happy, I'm dancing on the dance floor or something, and the next thing he'll come and say, let's go home. So it was almost like he did not want to see me happy outside him, as in, and then from it progressed into him getting violent. And I remember one of the first times when he beat me up was when my baby was like maybe like 2 months old, or no, she was, I can't really remember, but she was, I put her on the sofa. She was still a baby. I put her on the sofa, and I think she was just, when babies just begin to crawl. And the next thing, I was in the kitchen cooking, and I heard, I think she crawled and kind of fell on the carpet. And the next thing, I just saw him. He was just at me and just pushed me, and just started beating me. Like, he was actually in the sitting room when this happened. Me, I was in the kitchen, but he was beating me up for a baby. It's something that had happened in his presence. And it was really bad, in the sense that I had to speak to an aunt of mine, and my aunt was so angry and said, as she was speaking to me, I should just take the phone and go call the police. And anyway, I did not do that. But I had to see the GP. And that was just like one instance anyway. And then from there, from time to time, he would it now progressed to him, any little thing, he would try to strangle me. He would just hold my neck. So in the course of the marriage, things were not going very well. And in 2018, there was this day he traveled. He traveled out of the country, and he did not tell me he was going. He went to work, and he sent a text message to the lady that was helping me look after the children, saying that he will not be coming back because he's traveling somewhere. And a week later, he sent a text message saying I should leave the door open. He was going to come in at like 2 a.m. or something. And anyway, by the time I woke up that morning, he was in the living room. I saw him in the living room sleeping. So I just passed the living room and I just said, good morning. I went into the kitchen. And then by the time I came out, he was like face to face with me. And before I could say anything, this man pushed me. I fell down, and he was screaming that I want to throw him out of the house. So what had happened was, I had cleaned the room, and I had taken his clothes, his dirty clothes, and put them in a wash bag for washing. And maybe he came and saw them, and I don't know why he thought I wanted to throw him out of the house. And then the next thing, he was hurling things at me. And before I could say anything, the lady that was looking after the kids came to try to separate, and that was when he now started beating. He was beating me and beating her, holding my neck, screaming at the top of his voice, throwing things at us. And the children were there crying, running up and down. So it was like from room to room, we were running into this room. I ran into a room, and then I ran out of the room because I was not with my children, looking for my children. And then he came again and held my neck. This time around, he held my neck so tight, and then he pushed me into, I think it was a suitcase or so, and he kept saying, I will kill you today. I will kill you today. He kept saying it over and over. And at that point, I just knew that, what, this is it. As in, like, I better do something. So I got my daughter, one of my kids, and then I ran into the room and took my phone, and I called the police at that point. So when they came, by the time the police came, he had gone downstairs to wait for them. And when they came, I think he walked up to them or something, I don't know, and introduced himself to them. And so the police came in, like I think there were four of them, and the lady came up to me, and she took my statement and took the statement of the other lady, and then they were asking me, okay, I should show them my neck, and they were looking for bruises, but as in like there were no bruises on my neck, but I was in pain, and he was, as in, it was like they were looking for evidence. But anyway, apart from that, after giving my statement, the lady now told me that they saw him downstairs, and they spoke to him, that he was just so calm, that you would not believe that this kind of man would do that kind of thing. But then she said, but she looked at me and she said, but I know those kind of people.
Okay.
And yeah,
She said, I know those kind of people. And
yes.
was he arrested?
Oh yes, so he was arrested in the course of everything and taken to the station, and then the next day, I think they called me to say they had called the lady. I can't remember the details, but um they
Okay,
were
let's leave
saying,
that.
yeah.
Let's leave that. What I wanted to establish is that you were in this marriage and you said there was abuse going on there, and you know did he have any anger? Do you know if he had any anger management issues? Is he somebody that is quick to temper, or does he have any mental health? Because with the kind of pictures that a lot of ladies that come on this show paint now, I want to believe that so many of these people have undiagnosed mental health issues that they need treatment for. Because somebody that you call your wife, no matter the argument or the disagreement, to be holding their neck and trying to choke them to say, I will kill you, I will kill you. It's not normal. That's not a normal thing. This is something that somebody that's gone mad, or let me use the word, loosely, as we call it, somebody that is lost their mind would do. Did he have all those issues? Did you see that when you were dating or during the marriage that he's got
Um,
like
to be honest with you, I totally agree with you. I feel there might be something undiagnosed. He's got anger issues. Initially at the onset of the marriage, he would walk away, but after a while, it wasn't walking away. It was like, okay, I will go for you, as in, do you understand? So yes, he had anger issues. And talking about the mental part of things, side of things, he had a psychiatric friend that he sees, that I know that he sees, and I think he sees him on that note, but I'm not aware. I don't know what it is, but I think he sees him regarding his mental health. And
right?
again, to buttress that, the lady that was with me and that was helping me look after my kids, when she was giving her statement, and okay, she's Nigerian, and the Niger setting, she was telling the police that this thing that happened is principality. It's not normal. That what this man did today, that she knows that is a principality. So the police people, I was saying that they don't understand what you're saying. So
She
she
was
was just
telling
trying to
police,
say,
the child minder is
yes,
telling police that it's principality that made him to want to kill you.
yes, because she was saying there was no justification for what he did that day, as in like it was an unprovoked attack. Do you get?
Okay.
So but she was trying to, explain it to them, but obviously they didn't understand what she was saying. She was saying that there's a principality behind this thing that this
Yeah.
man did.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I
you
mean,
know,
we can laugh, but it's actually a fact. Some people are demon possessed. Okay. So, as funny as it is, there's some element of truth in it. Now, tell us how this marriage, when you decided to step away from this marriage, how it ended, before we proceed to where we are today.
oh yeah, so it was that day when the police came. So at some point they said, oh, they were not going to charge him because the lady backed down. Unfortunately, she was my only witness. Even though my neighbors tried to come upstairs, but they did not come in, and
Is she
so
registered? Somebody is asking in the comment section. Is she a registered childminder?
no, she's not. She wasn't my child minder. She was just helping me.
Oh, okay. It's just somebody that was
Mhm,
helping.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, so she backed out. She backed out anyway. And so I did not have. She said she wouldn't. She can't break a marriage, or that she will not. It will not be her that will break the marriage. So she refused
Hmm.
to. She refuted her statement, and the police explained to me that yes, they know that this happened, but it's now my word against his.
Can you see
So
that? The only witness that was there that was saying it's principalities and powers, said, I cannot break a marriage.
Yeah.
But she could watch and see you being strangled. And if you, God forbid, if you had died, she will feel better.
She
And
even
this
took
is,
some beatings from on my behalf, because even days after, and we were like using hot water to and towels to, to like press massage our bodies because she also had beatings.
oh, I wish she got most of the beating. He would have sweetened. Tell me they beat her more than the one they beat you.
Oh, no.
Look, I'm trying to talk a little bit about this because this is our culture. I won't be the
Mm,
one to break the marriage. It happens everywhere in our community, in churches, in social groups. I will not be the one. So when people see abuse that can lead to a person in that marriage losing their life, usually the woman, they will keep quiet. This woman refused to give evidence to the police, even though she too received beating. She said, I cannot be the one that will break up a marriage. So if you are out there and you have this mindset of I cannot be the one that will break up a marriage, just know that if you have an opportunity to save someone's life and you refuse to do it because of your what believed about keeping people together even if they are dying, if that woman dies, her blood will be on your head. Okay, you are the one that will answer to God because you had a chance to speak up but you chose not to, because you will not be the one that will break up a marriage. Between marriage and life, Biko, which one is more important to you, sister, auntie, childminder? Okay. All right. Go on, my sister.
Yeah, so I mean, at that point, they advised me. They gave me the domestic abuse helplines. They gave me also, in fact, they gave me. I was saturated with information, but I did not know what to do. They got a social worker involved. She came and interviewed the children. My kids were devastated by it, obviously, because till tomorrow, my daughter still asks me some questions about that day. As in like, and at some point I had to tell her, oh no, we're just acting a movie, and sometimes she'll say, oh mommy, I don't like that movie that you and daddy were acting. I don't like it. So yes, the social worker was involved, and I was told to get a restraining order. In fact, I was told to get so many things, but because of I have a child who's on the autistic spectrum. I would just say that my hands were full. I was working full time, even though at some point, at that point, I also had lost my job because of everything that was going on. So it wasn't easy for me to do the necessary things I was meant to do, such as getting the restraining order. And I mean, there were so many things they said I should get. So I didn't do that.
Right.
Um,
So after that, did he leave? Did he leave and the marriage ended then?
yes, so that was the beginning of the end of the marriage. So he would come to the house to say, oh, he wants to see the children, and he was told to stay downstairs, and I'll bring the children downstairs to him. And he would want to force his way into the house. He want to come inside the house. Um, sorry, I've lost my trail of thoughts.
So he was visiting the children after he left the house. You were saying, and then you will bring the children down to meet him, to see him.
Yes.
And
Oh yes, and then so at some point he got his own place, and he was now ready to according to him, he was ready to have the children over at weekends. So yeah, so we agreed that we were not really in talking terms, but we'll text. Well, he'll send a text, I'll send a text, and we agreed that he'll have them like twice in a month, so every other weekend. And this every other weekend, sometimes it will be just he'll come one weekend and we'll not see him for like 2 months. So it was very inconsistent.
so
So
Grace, somebody in the comment section who is a social worker is asking, Grace, I don't think you heard her. She said she had the kids. So at this point, this Baba had left the house, but he had visiting rights. Okay. So he was coming to see the children, but was not coming into the house. That's what she said. Okay. Right. Carry on.
yeah, so in can I go straight to February when? everything happened.
So yeah, he was visiting, and sometimes he said he was not turning up for the visit, even though he had visiting rights and all that.
Yeah,
Yes, and that was the end
yeah.
of the marriage, basically.
Yes, and then in 2019 or thereabout, he filed for a divorce, and it was an expedited one in the sense that I was given 7 days to respond to it. I sent it to my sister who's a lawyer, and she looked at it and she said, "Look, as long as there's no infidelity in this thing, just let him go." And that was what I did, and I was very happy to do it because if I was the one that initiated it, till I'm sure till thy kingdom come, he would not grant me that divorce. So it was like heaven sent, and so I thought he had moved on with his life. He was living with his a lady who had a child for him, and she had her own child. So they had two children. So I
So
felt, yeah.
hold on, you are rushing. Sorry, I know you're nervous, Amanda. Just let's take it one step at a time so people can understand. Yeah. So by the time he left you, he got involved with another lady. Was the child that he had for another person during your marriage or after? Do you
Yeah,
know?
so I think he was involved with her during the marriage, and then um not long after he left, they had the baby.
Okay, so when you said there was no infidelity, there was actually infidelity if he
No,
was
so
involved with her.
sorry, no infidelity on my part. So he
Oh, I
wasn't
see.
accusing me of infidelity. Rather, he was saying that he does not want me to take the children out of the country. He said I tried to use my son to make money. So this was because my son has some health issues. I was trying to raise money from family back in Nigeria, and he said he just turned it around anyway.
So somebody is asking again that the visitation rights that he had, was it a formal agreement with the courts or with social services, or it was just something that both of you agreed on?
It was not formal. It was just we just agreed.
Okay. So it
Yes,
was both of you that just agreed verbally. It wasn't like anything formal written down, signed by both parties.
yes. But I
Okay.
remember telling the social worker that I did not like the fact that the police had told him not to come into the house, and but he was still trying to come into the house. And I know they would tell me go and get I don't know if it's restraining order or something, but I
Yeah.
just I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. That's all right. That's fine. Just take some deep breaths. Okay. You're doing well.
mm,
Right. So, some advice here from Grace. Grace is saying that when children are involved during a divorce, contact and right to contact should be made clearly stated, and it should be formal, because if it's verbal, people can go back on their words. It shouldn't be an arrangement between the two people. It should be something that is either done via social services in court so that it will be legal and that will have more authority. Okay? That's just some information for you out there to take home with you. Right. Now let's jump to when you traveled. Okay.
okay.
February.
Yes. So in February, my passport, my Nigerian passport was about to expire, and I felt like the need to go back and renew it because I was looking for towards my doing my indefinite in July. And so I sent a message to him asking him, confirming the weekend that he was picking up the kids, and he agreed that he was going to pick them up on the weekend that was falling into half term. So I bought my ticket for Nigeria, and I had already called some people in the passport office in Abuja to help me speed up the process. So 2 days to the day before I was meant to leave, I sent him a message asking him what time he'll come to pick the children up, and he would not respond. So as he wasn't responding, I was like, okay, I think he's about to do this thing again. I had already spoken to a lady who I assumed was my friend prior to this, saying, just in case this man does not come to pick these children, can I keep my children with you whilst I go and renew my passport? And she was like, yeah, fine. They usually stay with her from time to time, like when if I'm working at night or so, or something like that. So they were used to staying in her house. She's got kids as well. She's got a family. So I spoke to her that night, and she was very happy to have them. And she said, oh, just just get all the things together, even though they've not spent like more than 3 days with her before. But I was anticipating that I was going to go to Nigeria and spend like maybe 4 5 days to renew my passport and come back. So she said, just prepare everything, get their suit, their clothes. She said, put their red book. And I was like, why do you want the red book? She said, yeah, because just in case. I was like, fine, just do a note about them. I said, okay, I'll do all of that. Do you want me to cook for them? She said, no, no, there's no need for cooking. Just get them ready. So
So
I
it's not the same child minder that refused to give evidence. This is a friend. She said this is a friend who is a non-Nigerian. Her friend in quotes, because I told Amanda later, I said this woman is not your friend. So ladies, I won't say gentlemen because men are usually they make better friends to one another than women. The people you
mm,
consider your friends, I want you to think deeply about the people you consider your friend. All right? We see this on this show over and over again. Last week, a week from today, Joy came on the show. Her friend did not take her in. Her so-called friends did not take her in. And they were even discouraging her from coming to the show. So, you guys, the people you call your friends, Igba Iponju la mo re. It is during difficulties that you know who your friends are. When things are sweet, anybody can be your friend. But the people you call your friend, do they really have your back? When the chips are down, could they hold you up as a friend, or would they sell you out and be like Judas's carrots that will give you a kiss of death? Think about it, ladies, because I tell you, some women are not loyal. They are not. They are the ones that are even the worst. They are the worst. Okay. So be careful the people you call your friend. So Amanda left her children with this friend because she needed to go to Nigeria to renew passport. Okay, I will explain that bit to you. That's the part I said that I struggled with that. She basically said that the Nigerian High Commission here did not have passports. It was during the pandemic, they didn't have a booklet or whatever. We know how the epileptic their service is. So she decided to go and renew. I see, go to Nigeria to renew passport. For what? She said, her stay was going to expire and she wanted to do it. Anyway, I told her that was not necessary. She should not have done that. Okay? But she did. It was a mistake, and I'm sure she acknowledges that now. So you left your children with this devilish woman to go to Nigeria for 4 days. That was the plan, right?
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. So and I gave her specific instructions. I told her their dad was meant to pick them up, but obviously he did not turn up. But he might turn up, as in, like, I'll give him instructions that they're with you. He can pick them from you, but he's not supposed to know where I am going. And she was like, why? I said, because you know what has gone on. I've known her for over, I mean, she knew me, we knew ourselves when I was in the marriage, you get. So, and she knows what has transpired, the domestic violence and everything. So I said, for obvious reasons now, I don't know what he will do, but I don't want him to know that I am going to Nigeria. He knows that I'm going somewhere, but obviously he thinks it's somewhere in the UK. He doesn't know I'm leaving the country.
Mhm.
And that was the instruction I dropped with her. She was like, okay, fine. So I gave the children to her, and I was like, so how much do you want me to give you for their upkeep? In terms of, she did not want me to cook for them. But obviously they'll have to eat now. So she said, no, what, I should make an offer. So we were now going back and forth. You tell me how much you think now. Okay. So anyway, I was on my way to catch my flight whilst we were still making this offer. She was like, don't worry, they're fine, just go, just be going. Um by the time I got to the airport, she sent me a message that she was like, oh, that would I give her £2,000? I said, what? As in how? At that point, I mean, I was like, okay, do you know what? Let me just call my other friends. So I called two other friends whom my children have stayed with. So we've, I have friends like that who have children as well, like the same age with my children. And I spoke to them and I explained to them what was going on there. And they were like, you know what? If by Sunday their dad has not come to pick them up, and this lady is still like is insisting on what she's saying, we'll come and pick them up. So I had two friends waiting on standby. And by the time I got to the airport, because I was speaking to her on my way, and speaking to my friends at the same time. And by the time I got to the airport, she sent me a message saying, by the way, she has called my ex. She has spoken to him and she has told him that I'm in Nigeria.
Hmm. This is somebody you told not to tell this particular person about your movement. Hmm. Now they see friend. Now see friend, £2,000 for Nigeria of 4 days. That's what she says she wants to earn. Wicked, wicked woman.
By then
Okay.
I had boarded my flight and they were like, switch off your phones and everything. And I was on en route to Nigeria. So by the time I got into Nigeria, it was obviously a different ball game. I had expected to just go in and people were waiting for me to renew my passport. I thought it was going to be that smooth, but I had forgotten what it really is. So they said, oh, there's this NIN you have to register for. In fact, the day I landed, as soon as I landed, I just went straight to MTN office. They were doing it there. I just did the registration for the NIN. So it was like I was on course. And the next day it was out. So I took it to the passport office, and that was when my nightmare began. They said, oh, they misspelled your name or something, or they missed something. Do you know this misspelling of name? I had to go back to the NIN headquarters. By the time they sorted that one out, 2 weeks had passed. My passport already had expired. In fact, but and then the happenings that were happening in London were taking place in the sense that my ex-husband swung into action immediately, took the children. He called the social worker. He told them that I had left the country. I had gone on holiday, and when I got to my destination, I called to say I don't know when I'm coming back. And then he said and then obviously they were now like, okay, they were now preparing to transfer the files and their documents to him to take over the children. And at some point I got an email from social worker asking me, so when am I coming back? And I
How long
explained to
how long were you in Nigeria for? 6 weeks?
no, it was 4 weeks when I checked now. It's 4 weeks.
4 weeks. You
So
stayed in Nigeria for 4 weeks. So you said that because of that conversation you had with this evil friend, by the next day she had called your ex-husband to take your children. So she went to Nigeria. A lot of people are asking why go to Nigeria to renew your passport. And like I said, I was really mad with Amanda when she told me this story initially. I told her, you don't leave your children, especially knowing your history, just to go and renew passport. What for? And during pandemic, what a lot of people don't know is that everything was on hold. Even if your passport was going to expire, your stay, your visa was expiring or whatever, there was a leeway for everybody because everything was on hold. But obviously, because she was, anxious about passport expiring, if the passport expires, how can she apply for her renewal of her stay? She decided to jump and go to Nigeria and leave her kids with this woman. By the next day, the woman had called her ex-husband to come and carry her children. The ex has came, she came and packed all the children, called social services. Remember that there was domestic violence of which social services was involved. He was asked to leave the house. The court told him not to come to the house. So in my mind, I'm thinking this is a man that feels like, okay, you sent me out of my house, you did this, you reported me to the police, I'm going to deal with you. So he was looking for an opportunity. And you know what? Amanda, unfortunately, gave him that opportunity. There was a loophole. Yeah. Yes, you are right, my sister Gigi. She gave him that opportunity by going to Nigeria because of passport renewal, because of renewing of documents. I told her, I said, a renewing of document during pandemic was nobody was checking anybody's passport. We were a country that were barely surviving. Who cared whether you are even illegal, stay? Nobody cared. It was just about human life that the country was about. But she went to Nigeria. That was a mistake. So 4 weeks you were in Nigeria. By the time you came back, you said the social
Yeah.
services were already emailing you asking you when you are coming back.
Yes, and I explained to them that as I was there, I did not know at that point because the passports, they were not even forthcoming anymore. I had done all the biometrics, but I wasn't seeing my passport, So apart from that, he went to the housing association. So I might have to rewind a bit. So the house we lived in was we got the house together with the children as a result of us being homeless at some point. So we lost the house where we were living in, and we had to go into the council had to house us. So we were in a temporary accommodation for like a year or so before we got this house together. And when we got the house, they wouldn't put my name as a tenant in the house because of my visa. My visa had no recourse to public funds, so they put his name as the main tenant, but I was a household member, and my children were in the house. So he called the housing association and gave them the same story, saying I had left the country and I wasn't coming back. And in fact, he said I abandoned the children and I left the country. I traveled for a holiday and I got to
That's
my
the word.
destination.
That's the word, child abandonment. That's the word he used.
Yes, yes. And so he before I could say Jack Robinson, he packed my things. He cleared my well, not cleared, but he said he sent me a message saying he had cleared my things out of the house and he had put them in storage. And oh God, I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
okay.
miss yeah, I'm missing the steps. So before he packed my things out of the house, he gave me a date saying by the 23rd of March, I want you out of that house. I want you to get someone to pack your things out of the house because I am returning the keys to the housing association. So I was now in the process of calling my friends to see who could help me pack my things. And then I got a message from my neighbor downstairs. She sent me the first message saying he was in my house, that he entered into my flat and he left with a suitcase. And then, like 2 days later, she now sent me another message that he went into my flat with somebody else and they left with some items. And she sent me a total of 4 messages. So this is my white neighbor downstairs. Sent me a total of 4 messages. And in fact, in one of the messages, she was asking me, does he still have the keys to your flat? Because all my neighbors knew that this man did not live in that house since 2018. So, and I was like, no, he does not have the keys to my house. So at some point, I sent him a message. I said, how are you getting into my apartment and what are you taking from there? And as soon as he got that message, the very next day, he sent me a message saying, I have now packed your things and put them in storage. When you come, you sort yourself, you face, and I have reported the case to immigration and home office. So when you come, you face them.
Okay,
Oh,
let me pause you
yeah,
there, Amanda. Right. So they had a social housing. When you hear housing association, that's a social housing. In the UK, you either have council or housing association. That's mostly there's private, obviously, but the ones that belong to government or government organizations are usually housing owned by council or housing association. So they had a flat like that. Now, this is another thing that the mistake that Amanda made. You know, when the man was sent out of the house because of DV that he was trying to strangle her and all that, she didn't
yeah.
change the locks. She'd never change the locks. So another thing that you people need to learn, ladies, if you are in a domestic violence relationship and for any reason your partner is asked to leave the house, the first thing you do is to change the locks. The reason why this man had access to that flat was because it's the same keys. For
And to be
years that he was
honest,
not, it's the
and to
same
be,
keys.
I still have all the keys. So I
He
mean, I
can
still have,
duplicate keys. Before he drop the key, he can go and you can cut key now. As long as the keys are not
yeah.
changed, he will go and duplicate it before he drop the keys. So because the locks were not changed, and I understand why, okay? Because initially I will tell you guys I was really mad with Amanda because I don't like women behaving like that. But she said something that melted my heart. Because when she first came to me, I said, I'm not bringing you to the show if you can do like this. But she said, Auntie B, please, the issue of my child, what happened to my child, that my child wasn't born with autism. It just developed at some point, really messed me up. And the thing just made my mind weak. I no fit talk again. When she said it, she said I was busy with appointment, going to see doctor, going to do this, going to do that. She was fighting at all corners. And I'll tell you, she said that was after the child took MMR that he developed that condition, isn't it?
Yeah. So he
He
was
took
talking.
vaccine. He said the child
Yeah.
was talking, but he took MMR because me, I didn't used to believe all these things. But when she told me, I was cold. The child was talking, but he took MMR vaccine, and that child, you say he doesn't even have speech now.
Yeah, he's non-verbal at the
It's
moment. Yeah.
non-verbal. So when she said, "Oh, it's because of all this stress of the child, my child, trying to sort him out, trying to do things," that's why I wasn't even thinking. Even if you be, no matter how hard in your heart is now, your heart could soft as a mother. I felt for her. I say, okay. I say, I understand. I will forgive and just understand why you didn't do all these things because of your situation. All right. So
Mhm.
please bear that in mind. This is what she was dealing with. So this brother came to the house, packed all her things because he had access. The neighbor was texting her while she was in Nigeria. He packed everything. He's already living with another woman. No, hey, make you see wickedness. So all of you that will come here and be saying that we are here bashing men. If this is your sister and you tell me that this kind of behavior is acceptable, it's not like he wants to live in that household, but because he knows that he could do it, he decided to make her homeless, packed all her things, and gave the keys back to the housing association, the landlord, saying, I don't need this flat anymore.
Auntie B,
Can
do
you
you
see
know
that?
that?
Can you see this kind of wickedness, my people? He gave the flat away while she was in Nigeria, took the kids, rendered her homeless, packed all her bags, and put them, where did he put them?
He put them in a storage,
In a
and
storage. And you say he even stole a lot of things
yeah.
from the
So
house.
yes. So when he said he packed all my things, he apparently he just packed the ones that he could pack, and then he just left the rest there. And only God knows, as in what he took and what he didn't take, because by the time I got to the storage, a good chunk of my he put a good chunk of my valuables had gone. As a matter of fact, as in I had, I don't know if I should say it here, but I had my savings
No,
in it.
say it. Say it.
Okay.
Because people
So
will learn.
yeah. So I was running around, I was looking for a particular teddy bear, two teddy bears, giant teddy bears, and I had my savings in there. I had already kept money aside for my indefinite leave to remain, which is like I do same day application, which is I think I kept like 4,000 there, and then I had other monies that I was saving, and then I had my gold in another pouch. And the way I had wrapped my gold, I had used, okay, I don't know if I should say it too, because but anyway, I did not see my gold.
So all
And
the gold, all her savings, she doesn't want to mention the amount, but it was in thousands of pounds. Okay. The first bit of the money, which another thing I scolded her for, was £4,000 she was saving. Why didn't you put the money in a bank, for goodness sake? Even in your children's bank, you can put money and remove it. Why save at home? Are you a malam? It's malam that will save money and dig the floor and put money because they don't trust bank. It's not 4,000, no, Sarah. Oh. She doesn't want to mention it, but I think the money was up to 10,000. And gold. You know
Auntie
how
B, when
much
I was in
gold is?
Abuja, I used to sell
Mm.
gold. So when I moved
Ehen.
to this country, I came with my remaining gold, and I had coral beads and stuff, And you know how London is, you don't really wear these things, so you just keep them. As in, I have pictures of them. And apart from that, oh my God, he tore my pictures, all the pictures that I had with my baby, as in, like, when I was giving birth, all those pictures, he tore them, he ripped them in pieces and kept them there.
So when you came back, what did you do?
Oh, so when I came back, thank God for some friends that I have. It was my friend came to pick me from the airport and took me straight to her house. I had to quarantine for 10 days, but as soon as I came into the country, I called the social worker. I told them I'm back now. The social worker said, well, that that everything has been transferred to another borough because he had moved to a different borough. So, but she told me the borough. She gave me the details of the new social worker, and then I contacted that social worker and told her I was around. I had come into the country. I also called the police. I told them everything that happened. I called the housing association as well, and I explained everything to them. And initially they took my calls and they were saying, oh, so what do I want them to do? And I said, please just hold the house down for me because I can't go there now. I'm quarantining. But I need the house because I need to get my children back. And I stayed for 10 days. And after that, when I came out of quarantine, I had to look for a job. I just got one job, one night job somewhere, thank God. And I didn't have a place to stay.
Did they change the
So
locks? Did the housing association change the lock by the time you got to the UK? Did you
yes,
go there
so
to check?
yeah, yeah. So when I went there, I put my key inside. I think they put something extra so it wouldn't turn. Uh, so sorry. So
It's okay. So that's where we are now. Okay. So he took the children, he changed their school, and he moved to another location in another borough with his new woman. And you guys, listen to this. This woman he's with already has a child or so from a previous relationship, and they have a child together. Remember, she said the minute he moved, the woman gave birth. How do you take another woman's children to go and give your new woman to be raising when their mother is alive? Just because she made a mistake. I'm not saying what she did is good, though, guys. You don't want to believe how this conversation went when I was talking to Amanda for the first time. I was so angry with her. But again, I understood, because I always say it on this platform that information is power. She didn't have a lot of information. If you had information, number one, you don't need to go to Nigeria to go and new passport because your visa is about to expire during pandemic. Number two, you have a child that has special needs. So nobody's going to deport you. Women are always so scared of being deported that they will do things that they shouldn't do because they are afraid of immigration. Look, this immigration, a human being, no. A human being be immigration, no. So be careful the kind of information that you are, the kind of steps that you're taking, you know, which one I not tell her off for? Is it saving money at home and leaving all that plenty money in a teddy bear at home in this part of the world? When person no be malam, now malam they dig grant, they put money now. How can you keep that kind of huge money at home? Now, what is the evidence now if you want to go and accuse him that he stole your money? What's the proof? You don't have any proof. If you can't prove it, it didn't happen. This part of the world, that's how it works. So she's going to police, she's going to social services. Nothing is working. This one will tell her to go here. This one will tell her to go here. Tell me, there's a particular incident that happened when you finally tracked down your daughter's school and you went there. Tell us what happened on that day.
yeah, so I kept trying to speak to my children, and he would say he's not one to let keep children away from their mothers, but in this my case of abandonment, he has to teach me a lesson, as in, and why I did not tell him that I was going to Nigeria, that he will have to teach me a lesson. But I would appeal to him, please, okay, let me just speak to them, and once or twice he allowed me, I think, was it Mother's Day or so, he allowed me to speak to my daughter to them via video call. And in fact, the first day I spoke to them, my daughter was saying, Mommy, when are we going home? And I said, don't worry, very soon. My daughter still thought I was in Nigeria. So I said, once I come back from Nigeria, you will go home, okay? And so from time to time, I said, anytime you want to speak to me, just tell your daddy you want to speak to me, or record something, any message on his phone, and tell him, or tell your teachers that you want to speak to me. So from time to time, I think she started bugging him, and every day I'll send a message saying I want to speak to them. He'll give me excuses, one after different kinds of excuses. But at some point, I was able to speak to them. On this particular day, I think he always sits beside them when I'm speaking to them to hear what they're saying. But on this particular day, as God will have it, I don't know. I told my daughter to move to one side, and when she got to that corner, I said, What's the name of your school?" And she just gave me the name of the school. And she googled it, and as still giving me the full descriptions. He switched off the phone, but I had gotten enough to get to the school. And so the next day, I googled the school and I went there. And when I got to the school, I went to the front office and told them that I am so 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 person's mom and I've come to see her. I'm not taking her. I just want to see that she's all right and I want to give her something. And she said, "Oh, go to the back where they picked them up from." And when I went to the back, I noticed that there were some teachers. I told them, "Oh, I came here. I came to see my daughter because it was closing time for school to close." And I noticed that they were now talking on walkie-talkies, moving around. And then from the side of my eye, I could see that her dad somewhere at one corner. And the next thing, I saw four huge teachers coming out. And in the middle of them, I just saw between their legs, I just saw my daughter. She just saw me. I just shouted, "Mommy!" And she just ran and hugged me. And as she held me, I just saw these teachers just came to my ears to whisper that we have to walk her down. We have to take her now to her dad. And I said, "Okay, let's go together. I don't want her to know." Um, let's. And they said no, that they will take her to the dad. And I said, "Okay, but I will give her this. I'll give this to her. I'll give her what I brought for her." And then I gave it to them. And they took her away, and it was very awkward because she knew that something was wrong. And so I called the social worker the next day and I said, "You know what? As in, I'm not having this. As in, I have parental rights. This should not happen." So I sent an email to the school saying that until I see a legal document saying that I cannot see my child, I will continue to come to that school. And if they try anything, as in they'll see another side of of things. I'm going to take it up with the law. And they did not respond to me. And so I think a few days later, or a week or so later, it was half term. So they had gone on half term. So when they came back, I called the school and said, "I sent an email to the head teacher and I have not received an acknowledgement, not to talk of a response." And she said, "Oh, what's email?" And anyway, I gave her the email and she said, "Oh, please resend it again and copy me." And I did that. And as soon as I sent it to her, I copied them and copied the social worker. And as soon as not up to 30 minutes later, the head teacher responded to me that, "Oh, please, I should come into the school with my ID card. She's sorry she didn't see it. It was half term, so it was holidays. So it went to her junk mail anyway." She said I should come into the school with my ID card. So when I got to the school the very next day, I gave them my ID card and they said, "Whenever you want to see her, send us an email and come and see her." So the day I went there, it was just 30 minutes it was a few minutes to school closing, and I saw her, and first of all, when I went inside, I was wearing a mask and I was talking to the lady at the reception. And the lady at the reception said, "Oh, maybe your daughter will not recognize you if you're wearing a mask." I said, "No, she will." But on second thought, I just said, "Let me take off the mask." And as soon as I took it off, I just heard my daughter scream, "Mommy!" So I think she was at the back and they wanted to see if she would recognize me. And of course she did.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
How was
so
she? How did she look when you saw her? Because you
oh
said
my
something
God.
about her hair. You said
Phew.
you almost you were in tears when you saw
In
your
fact,
daughter.
if you see my daughter's mouth, her teeth, do you know, as I left there, I had to go to the shops.
Oh, it's okay.
I had to go
Nobody
to
can
the
take care of your child like you. Nobody. Taking a child from her mother, taking children from their mother because you want to settle some scores about your divorce is got to be the most evil thing in this world. Please don't use your children as a pawn. Don't use your children for revenge. You are damaging the children. Please don't do it. Nobody can care for children except in very rare cases when the mothers are, they are not maternal. This is a loving mother that's cared for her children. And then because of, one mistake, you stripped her of her role as a mother. Now the children are being neglected. So what did you do, Amanda?
so I had to go to the shops. I got her, the electric toothbrush. I got for them. I bought for all of them. I got them pants and then I got hair products because her hair was in a state. So the next day I sent an email. In fact, I think they probably, the school probably watched what was going on because After that, when I was leaving, the lady said I could come 30 minutes before and spend 30 minutes with her so I could have more time with her. So I went, I got all these things, and then the next day when I came, I tried to do her hair as much as I could. I brushed her hair, packed it, put ribbons on the hair, so she would look good. And then I gave her the toothbrush. I told her, "You give this toothbrush." Obviously, I couldn't see her brother because he's in a special school. And I said, "Use this." I told her how to use the toothbrush. Of course, she knows how to use the
Even
toothbrush,
with
but
even with electric toothbrush, I'll tell you from my kids' experience, I refuse to get one for my younger son because you need to supervise them to teach them how to use it. Because electric toothbrush is not the same thing as the normal toothbrush. So the point is that the children are being neglected. And you say he's never at home, even when
no,
you were married.
no, no. So I did all of that, and I said, so I'll be coming twice in a week because the school is like 45 minutes from into in as in it's outside London. It's in a place that the day he saw me at the school, he was in shock because if you do not know that school, you will not find that school. You will
Hmm.
pass farms, barns, as in it is out in the middle of nowhere. So I couldn't go there every day or every other day. So I decided to be going there every 2 weeks and see her. And she was happy. One of those days when I went there, the teachers brought her school work to show me, They just put in her bag so I could see the progress and everything. And um yeah,
Okay. So now the schools are closed, so you have no contact. You have no
yeah,
access to see them, right? What
yes.
about texting, communication? Does it allow you to call the children, or does it call you to speak to the children? Has it allowed you to visit the children? Because this is a 6 weeks holiday. The children are not back to school till September.
No, he has refused. So, in fact, on the last day before school closed, the day before school was about to close, I went to her school again. And when I got to the school, they told me to wait. They were going to get her, and then they got to the class and found out that she wasn't in class, and he had not called the absent line. So, I left there disappointed. It was the day before she was to close, and I had gotten so many things for them. And so when I left there, I called him to say, what happened? Why is she not in school? And he said, she's under the weather. And I was like, please, can you explain what under the weather is? Or can I speak to them? And he said, please don't worry yourself. They are fine. Don't stop disturbing me or something like that. And I said, please just give me a time to speak to them. So he said, I'll speak to them the next day. So the next day, around 5, when I called them, I spoke to my daughter and I was asking her, "How are you? Why? I heard you are not in school." She said, "Yes, mommy. What was wrong?" She said her ribs were paining her. I said, "Your ribs were paining you? Since when?" She said, "3 days ago." I said, "Really? As in, like, have you gone? Has your daddy taken you to the hospital?" And she says, "No." And I'm like, and the next thing her dad was saying, I spoke to 111. They said I should keep an eye on her when if anything happens. And I said, please, I beg, I just take God, I beg you, just carry this girl to Crayford McDonald's. I will come and pick her and take her to A&E. That when a child says ribs, it's not the leg or feet or it's not headache, ribs. As in that is a serious thing. And he was like, please stop, I should stop disturbing him. He's an adult, he knows what to do. And
Hmm.
so as soon as I dropped that call, and then as I was talking to her, she now took the phone and ran off with it. And she was now saying he ran after her because, like I said, he always wants to be beside them when they're talking. And as she was running, she was saying, "Mommy, do you know our door number?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Okay." And she said the name of the street is, she now said the name of the street, and he put his hand over her mouth and cut the call. And
Yeah. Well, she was going to give you the address.
yes,
Mm.
she gave me but I was really worried, like, why is she giving me the address? So I called social services. And when I called social services, it was a call center, and they said, oh, they'll call me back, but they took down the message. So soon after, not so long after, someone called me, a social worker called me, and I explained everything to her. I said, I'm very worried. Um, my daughter's ribs are paining her, and he's been told to keep an eye on her. I would expect that they would be in A&E, and she agreed with me and said I should give her his number. She would call him now. And she did that. She called him and spoke to him. And maybe like after 45 minutes, she called me back and said, that even as social workers that they have their limits, that she has told him that ribs is wait, if a child's ribs are
So did you take her
painful.
to the hospital? Let's summarize this rape matter and the child being
Okay.
sick. Did
And
you take
so
her
he
to the
did not take her
hospital?
that evening, but the next morning he took her because I had involved the social worker. He took her the next morning and gave me the reports. But since that day, he has not allowed me to speak to them. So it's
How long
either
ago was
or.
this?
So this is like maybe like 2 weeks ago or thereabout when they just
Okay.
went on holiday.
Okay. Now tell us why you are here today and what you are asking in terms of why do you want to share this story today?
Okay, so first of all, I want to get my children back. As in, like, I think because uh, the social workers are not, they're not forthcoming. I don't know. Nobody's hearing. Nobody seems to hear me. Do you understand? As in all of this, I don't understand how this can be happening in the UK. To be honest with you, they say he has parental rights, but I also have parental rights.
Hmm.
Yes, they say we should chase it up in court. I have been trying to chase it up in court, and I was told. So all this while I was homeless, I was, thank God I have for friends that God has blessed me with. I had friends that I was living in their house from house to house, but at
Hmm.
some point, I got the charity was involved, and they got a solicitor for me. But by the time they assess me, they'll say I'm not eligible for legal aid. And right now I'm doing a job that pays like 950 a month, as in like this is a night job that is as in that's the best I could get, you get, and I'm not eligible for um what they call it, for legal aid. So one of the things that they
Because she
told
has no
me,
recourse to public funds. Okay.
yes,
So she cannot get
um
legal aid. Legal aid is public funds. They give you the
yeah,
service for free, but they still get paid by the government.
yes,
Right.
but
Okay. So you want to get your kids back. What else?
yeah, so I also, yeah, I want to get my kids back. I also want justice to be done because like the housing association, they also threw my things out. So he had moved some things, but he left some things in the house. And when I called the housing association, initially they were speaking to me, and then at some point they said, "Oh, I'm not the named tenant, so they cannot deal with me." But I said, "But you guys know that there's been domestic violence that happened in
No,
that
so
property,
so
and
let's just forget about you getting any justice for your property that was damaged or lost or stolen from the housing association. You're not gonna get it. Just forget it, okay? Because it is not the housing association that threw you out. They are not the ones that made you homeless. Your ex-husband told them because he was still the tenant. Unfortunately, you couldn't change the name. You couldn't move that tenancy to your name because of your situation. Uh, uh, so they are not the ones responsible. All right.
yeah.
They cannot give you any recourse for that. He's the one that he took all your money, your gold, everything. He must have known you were saving inside those teddy bear. How did he manage to know that there was money in that teddy bear?
No, to be honest with you, he knows that I always have money somewhere, but I don't know. He
Okay.
does. I don't know. To be
So
honest, I don't know.
oh, Dupe, your connection it was good a minute ago. Okay, let me add you. Just quickly add what you need to say because we're trying to see if people have any information and advice. What we need is information and advice tonight, guys. What can help this situation? What can help Amanda? I need people who live in the UK to come with information. All you children social workers, unfortunately, I work with adults, so my knowledge with children is limited. Dupe, you're here.
Yes, I am.
Okay, go ahead, sis.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was echoing. Sorry, this is my first time calling in.
It's
Yeah.
all right.
Hello, Amanda.
Hello. Good
Um,
evening.
Good evening. Your story is not unusual. So I think let me put your mind at rest on that. Okay. What I
Okay.
would say to you is there are two things, but let's focus on the positives first, and then we can come back later to what the mistakes were. Okay.
Right,
So the
right.
first
Okay.
thing you want to do is you need a civil lawyer. So in Scotland, we call them the children and family lawyers. I think in
Okay.
England, it would be called civil lawyers. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
also, there is, um, I would speak to Sis Bridget after the show. There's somebody that I can connect you to,
Okay.
and she's quite high up in the Home Office. She used to be the community, what's it called? She was in charge of the
Okay.
Africans immigration and stuff, but she's now in social service, which is a good thing now. Okay,
Yes.
so she will be able to we'll be able to discuss it further. But the first thing is you have contact with those children. But however, the greatest mistake you made was to make it informal. So what
Yeah.
we want to do right now is we want you to would the first thing to do is get a lawyer. Yes, they're saying you don't have recourse to public fund. Sorry, you don't have what's called the legal aid stuff. Legal aid can be quite tricky. Okay, but
Yes.
we can look for organizations. We can look for African-led organizations that can put your case across. Okay,
Okay.
so we
Yes.
need to look for African-led organizations that can put your case across in London. There are a couple of African organizations that I think I know on top of my head because we tend to have cross-border referral, okay, between
Yeah.
Scotland and England. So I've worked with quite a few good number of them. So you need them first to understand the cultural angle, because the reason why you had left your children and gone to Nigeria, in the eyes of the system, it will be classed as gross neglect because
Hmm.
you are the primary caregiver of
Yeah.
the children.
Hmm.
And the fact that you also had a child that's got autism, that was a big, big time to be away. Okay, but
Yeah.
don't let us focus on that's happened now. Okay, so let's look at what we can do differently. The good thing is you still have access to this to the children. So we look for a civil lawyer that can help you rectify the child's custody, because you need to tie up the custody of the children and it needs to be made legal.
Hmm.
Okay, then
Yeah.
with school, once you have this custody, so do you have the paperwork from the domestic abuse,
Yes,
from
I
your
do.
reporting of domestic abuse?
Yes, I do. I've got from the GP, and
Okay.
obviously the police report is there.
Okay. So those information that you have, it would count on the part of good behavior and your ability, your mental ability and psychological ability to care for the children. Because what he has done is, you being a primary caregiver, unfortunately, out of naivety, you are giving up your role informally for 4 weeks. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
But we now need to rectify that narrative because there was a reason why you did it, right? So
Yes.
in going forward, the social worker that you have for the children, the child that has got autism, is it the only one that has got social worker or all your children?
So it's it's a bit tricky because I think it's my child with that has the social worker, the one with autism, but
Okay,
they
so that
still
would be a
cover.
disability social worker.
Yes, but they still kind of cover the other ones. So
Yeah, no,
So,
no, no, it's
so,
normal, but
so
it's just
somebody in the comment section who is also a social worker is saying that, Amanda, you don't need to call your social service, your social worker, the one that you know already. You need to call the social services line. If
yes,
you
it's the
call
social
them,
services line I called.
did you call the social service line to report this as a safeguarding? Because when the child
Yes,
was sick and he didn't take him to hospital, I take the child to hospital. That's a safeguarding.
Yeah, it's safeguarding, but before we get to that, we need to sort out the legal angle first. Because you know what he has done, right? I
Hmm.
take it you don't get the benefit of those children anymore.
no, he has always taken their benefit. I have never taken it. Even when he was leaving, had left the house. He was still
Okay.
collecting their child
So
benefits.
these are the things that the lawyer needs to rectify.
He's always collected the child benefit, even when he left the marriage and the marriage ended.
Yeah,
Yes,
from
yes,
what
he
she's
did.
Wow.
saying. So this
Wow.
thing, see, there's a lot of blunder in some of the things you've done. Okay? But
Yes.
before we go to the social work angle, we need to rectify the legal angle first.
Okay.
Okay, because
Yes.
from the legal angle, then you can get a child custody order whereby both of you would now have a formal written agreement on who gets the child when and how, because your children are still young from what you're describing.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to get a lawyer. I don't know if anybody is a civil lawyer that understands the English law. This is something that we just need to get ASAP. The social work angle of it is minor because once the legal angle is sorted, every other thing ties in.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
and also while you are at it, we need to try and look for. So when you said when the domestic abuse was reported, did you have organizations that you were working with, like
Yes.
women's? Okay,
Women's Aid. I was linked to Women's Aid, but at some point they were saying they were. I think they transferred me to something sisters, but they didn't follow up. To be honest with you, it was a dead
okay.
end at some point because I didn't have no recourse to
You
public
need to
funds.
go back. We need to look at you going back to Women's Aid. But
Okay.
I think what I will do, I will contact someone. I've already spoken to her earlier when I saw the topic from Obodoyibo TV, and she's going to be on a standby. But I wanted to get an understanding of your case first. Okay?
Okay.
So,
Yes.
Sis Bridge, I'll call you later. Let me get the lady to listen to the program, and then we can swing on and see what we can do. Hello?
Hello. Yes. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you very much, Dupe. I appreciate you. And yeah, I understand what you're saying. Thank you so much for your support as always. Love you, sis.
Right.
Thank you.
So we need information and advice. That's what we're asking for if you live in the UK. The UK law is the same in England. This is England, not Scotland, not Wales, not Northern Ireland. You England, information, advice. Love, I've got you.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
Yeah,
good evening, ma'am.
yeah, I got you. What do you have
Yeah,
to
am I
say?
echoing or is
No,
it
no,
fine?
no. You're fine. Yeah, carry on.
Okay. Thank you. I felt sorry for Amanda. I mean, nobody is above mistake.
Yeah,
The deal has been done, but we need to correct ourselves so that such thing won't happen again and others can learn.
yes,
I've got two boys. I'm a single mom myself. I went through domestic abuse and we got separated in November 2019. I think the mistake she did there was she's supposed to have gone through with the domestic abuse team. So it was the
Uh,
domestic abuse team that got everything, that did everything, because I was on my ex-partner paper as well as a spouse route, and it was no recourse to public fund. But because of what happened, I don't know how the domestic abuse team did it. Before you know it, they apply for my indefinite for me. So he canceled all the no recourse. They did ask me then that it's a two-way thing. He said that they write to the home office to tell them that they need to remove the no recourse, or we can try the indefinite leave because I've been in the country for a while. And
yeah,
luckily for me, the
mhm,
indefinite was successful. So
yeah,
the social worker Amanda is talking about, I think, is the one that is working with a autism child, because I've got a child with special needs. My
mhm,
son is even autism, learning disability, and global developmental delay. So that's for the social disability team.
yeah,
So she needs to call the proper social worker. The social worker that is with them now, I think, is the one that is working with the disability team.
yeah. So sometimes the workers, you know what, with social services, yeah, it
Yeah,
depends on the worker that you have. Some social workers
that's
are
true.
so
I mean, yeah,
they are
you are
not
right,
they
ma.
are
You are
not
right.
they are not very good.
Yes,
Okay,
you're right. This is
they
the
can't
third.
wait to get rid of you.
Exactly. This is the third social worker my son is actually getting. You're right.
Yeah,
And this new one is very good.
yeah.
She's very, very good. When I say she's very good, she's been the best
Some
so
of
far
them
from
are
the
not
three.
very helpful. Yeah, some
Exactly,
of them
from
are
the
not
three
very
social
helpful.
worker we get. Yeah.
Yeah,
So the
some.
advice I will give her is she needs to go back maybe to the domestic abuse team
Mhm.
to get some help, to let them know that, well, to explain all she has said on the show today, to explain to them there is definitely something that can be done for
Okay.
her. Because
Mhm.
she's already in the country, she's got children, her name is on the birth certificate. There's a proof to show that she is the biological mother of these children. What has happened has happened. The
She's not only
biggest
the biological mother, she's the caregiver, she's the primary
mistake,
caregiver for years.
exactly, of course. So the mistake has been that she left, to go to Nigeria for that week. And regarding the housing, it's on the terms and condition that if you're going to leave the house for a particular week, you need to let the housing association know. So there's no going area about that one, because you've left the property for more than the time you're supposed to live, and you did
No,
not notify the housing
then,
association. So that
yeah,
one is a bye-bye. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Thank
I
you.
pray and I hope that things will get better, because there's no one that can look after one's
Your
one's
children, yeah,
children, more
yeah,
than a mother. I mean, that was one thing I thought. I said, if he's going to be with my last bro, I'm going to have my children with me. I cannot allow
yes.
someone else to raise my children with their father, because Yorùbá ní ojú olójú ò lè dàbí ojú èèyàn.
Then
So,
you,
and now a child with special needs. Oh
yeah,
my
that's
God.
even added response.
No, no, no.
No woman wants to take up the responsibility
Nyla.
of raising a child with
Mm-mm.
special needs that belong to another
Ah,
woman. They will
Sister B, I
abuse
know
that
what I'm
child.
going through with my own. Gongon,
They
there's
will
even mine
abuse
that
the
gave birth to
child.
him. Oh, I know what
Mm,
I'm doing. So you cannot
yeah,
imagine someone else raising
yeah,
that child. Yeah, I
yeah.
can just imagine, man. I
Thank
pray
you,
that
love.
everything is going to be
Mm,
sorted in Jesus' name. I feel for you, sister. And I pray that everything is going to be, oh my God, in the name of Jesus.
amen. Thank you,
Thank you
sis.
so
Thank
much for
you.
having me on the show. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you,
Thank
love.
you so much. Auntie P,
Love,
can I say something, please?
yes, please go ahead, my love.
Yeah, so when the domestic violence happened in 2018, I was put through to the domestic abuse team in the council, and they had taken all my documents and everything and sent to the home office. And when they came back, they said they were not going to help me because I could take care of the children. And that was how I did not get the help that I was
Yeah,
supposed to get. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, that's good. That's all right. By the grace of God, through this show, God has been doing it for us. We rely on God completely. We have no power of our own, but we have people. And I know that a lot of people out there are good. A lot of people out there who've heard your story, Amanda, you know, Ikunle Abiyomo, they would think about it and they will know that as a mother, I mean, like Love said, nobody wants to look after your child that has special needs. So those children are, the children with disability or people with disability, 3 times, 5 times more at risk of being abused than people without disability. So that
Yeah.
woman that she's staying with is not going to look after him.
In
Your
fact,
husband, your ex-husband is going to work. So that child is suffering. We need to get that child back to you. You are the
yeah,
mother.
yeah,
Because of, even if it's, I know you got 3 children, but because of that child with special needs, they need you. Nobody can look after that child. Oh. Mm-mm. Nobody. Adama, you're here. Please say something.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening,
Hi,
sis.
good evening.
yeah, good to be on the show today. And
Thank you, sis.
Amanda, I just want to express, how sorry I am, for what you're going through.
Thank
I'm a social worker, so I just want to ask you a few questions. Your child, the one who's got the painful ribs, is that the one that's got the disability, autism?
No.
Right. So it's your other child, yeah?
Yes.
How old is she?
She's 7.
Okay. You need to report that as a safeguarding to the front desk. Do you know why? Because I'm assuming that your child that is 7 doesn't have a social worker. So what will happen is that will go through to the duty team and they have to address it as a safeguarding. And I say let it be addressed now whilst
Yeah.
you're seeking legal support. But that is
Okay.
paramount because we don't want a repeat of that thing again. We don't know what is happening to your child. And again, right now it's summertime, the schools are closed, so there's no one to monitor it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
do you know the number I could call them on?
It depends.
It
You have to
depends.
Google it. It depends on the borough.
Yeah, it
Amanda,
depends on the borough
it's
where you
easy.
are.
Just go on the
Yeah,
borough where you live and say children social services
services. Yeah,
number. It's
yeah,
simple. It will come up.
yeah.
Okay, because I think the number I called was actually the Children's Social Services, and it went to like a switchboard.
Yes, it
Yeah.
will.
Would that be them?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Okay.
So what you say is that you want to report a safeguarding concern that you have about a child who's complaining about painful ribs. Then you've got to tell them what's going on so that they can investigate it. I'm saying this now because the schools are closed. So right
Yeah,
now you don't know what is happening to your daughter because you can't see her, and the school
yeah,
can't pick it up. Because I'm
yeah,
just conscious, that your children are with another. Well, they're with that other lady. She's got her own kid, so she's not going to have the headspace to look after them. Do you understand? And you
yeah,
don't know whether she's getting frustrated and whether the father's losing his temper, and they're being hit. We don't know what's happening to them
yeah,
because they're not being monitored. Do you understand? So
yeah, I
that
do.
can still be done whilst the legal support is being sought. So don't let that just sit down and you're waiting for the legal bits to happen, because that could take a while. But this needs to be
Yeah.
dealt with straight away so that they
You know
can
what I
act.
said? Let me
Yeah.
tell you what I said, Adana, my sister.
Mm.
I told her, I said, go to this school. When your
Okay.
children, the daughter especially, because thank God
Mm.
she hasn't got special needs, when she
Yeah.
comes out of the school, take her. If they try to
Mm.
stop you, call the police so that it becomes something that you blow open, make a
Right.
scene,
Right.
so that now we will know why a father will take
Mm.
children away from their mother, stop visitation, stop having contact,
Yeah.
and then the social services will be involved. Once you call the police are calling social services because they can't deal with that.
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, schools are on holidays now till
Yes, that's the
September,
thing.
so that
Yeah.
cannot
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I'm just imagining what will be happening in that household. You understand? Because I'm
Yeah,
Yeah,
just assuming that the man himself and then the lady who is his new person or whatever, they're going to be under a lot of pressure. Do you understand? And so they
they
haven't got
can't.
the
You
skill
know,
of
and you were saying
respite.
something. You were saying something, Amanda,
Mm.
that now he wants to settle out of court because he can't take care of the
Mm.
children. Let's
Of
hear
yeah.
course
what.
he can.
So of recent, he's been sending me messages to say, okay, so he's ready for a third party
Mhm.
to settle the issue, so that we
Mm.
can have a proper arrangement for the children. And to me, it's
Mm.
sounding like he obviously doesn't want me to go to court, so I don't expose things like the fact that he's been collecting their child benefit, even when he was not
Right.
living with them. So, to be honest, I don't know what to do about that. I've been asking people, like, what do you think? So I don't get shortchanged in the process. So I don't know.
This is why I said to her, Adama, please correct me if
Mm.
I'm wrong, because
Mm.
you are a social worker
Mm.
and you obviously have
Mm.
more knowledge in children than me. I
Mm.
said no. I said no because this is the same
Yeah.
informal
Yeah.
arrangement they had
Yeah.
before
Mm.
that didn't work in terms
Yeah.
of visitation
Mm.
and the rights of parental rights, because it's
Mm.
not legal. It wasn't done in
Yeah.
court. It was just
Yeah.
the two of them saying, okay, you take the children this week. This one say, I take the children this week. But if it's not formal, then people are likely to break the terms of agreements.
And he will most likely do that. Do you understand? And that's why he wants to
Yeah.
do. He wants to do it informally, because then that gives him leeway to do what he wants to do, which will not always be right. So I would just say, Amanda, because of everything that has happened so far, you've got to go formal so that there's a clear line.
Yeah.
Somebody
And
is
that
saying in
way.
the comment section, somebody is saying that you
Mm.
should grant him audience first. Adetutu, I see you. I think you make a lot of sense. Say grant him audience first to avoid long battle of child custody.
Okay,
Yes, you could do that, but do it with a lawyer. Even if it's
that's right.
informal, make
Yeah,
sure that it is written down.
yeah.
So this kind of, I think he's suggesting that they should have like what do you call it?
Mediation,
Mediation. Yeah.
mediation.
You
Yeah,
can have a mediation that's still legal. It will be legal
yeah,
binding. So don't go
yeah.
into the mediation by yourself. Have some
Mm.
support so that it is, yeah. This is what Adetutu is saying.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Okay,
And
thank
maybe
you
if you
so
can
much.
get some, and maybe if she can get an advocate as well, maybe that would help her as well. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that would be helpful. All
All
right
right.
then. Take care.
Thank you
All right.
so much, Adama. Talk
Okay. Bye.
soon.
Thank you. Thank you
Birmingham
so much.
loading. Birmingham. We're going to Birmingham. Oh, Amanda, sorry.
It's all
I've
right.
got. I just wanted to throw in that so that we can laugh a little bit because sometimes you just need to laugh, otherwise you will cry.
Yeah.
Ro, I've got Ro.
Hello, Auntie V.
Hello, sweetheart.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much. Amanda,
Okay.
I'm so sorry for what you're going through. I just want to quickly go straight to the point. So, with me, there are bits and pieces of your situation that was quite similar to mine. So I fled abuse as well, but I went straight to Nigeria, just like you, leaving my two young kids. One was 2, the other one was 5 or so, with their dad, and I had to go for 4 months. And then, yes, and then I came back. I didn't plan it that way, but it's what happened. You know how Nigeria is. And then I came back. So before I came back, he went to court and he told the police that I abandoned the children. And the court abandoned the children. Yes. So long and short of the story, I what I did, because when I came, I was still in a lot of shock and trauma. So I tried to contact, and I was served already with a paper, court papers, because I was waiting for me already before even coming back to the UK. So what I did was I tried to contact about 20 law firms. They kept telling me I wasn't eligible for public funds and things like that. And I think that depends on the lawyer you're using, or solicitor, or whatever firm you contact, and because they are better than each other. Some of them are not very good.
Yeah.
I don't know how my own lawyer did it. I whilst calling, lots of charities to find out who could help, I just stumbled on a lady who said, take this lawyer, call this lady. She's very good. I can guarantee you she's very good. She would help you out. She was very good. And I called her and she said, send this. And it went through just like that. After hearing so many no's, about 20 no's, because I had a list, I had a long paper, and I was crossing names of firms. I was just googling firms and crossing out names because none of them wouldn't take me on. But this lady did take me on. So I'm happy to pass on her contacts to you.
Excellent.
If you're happy to take her, she's actually, and she's not just because she does legal aid, she's actually passionate about what she does. When I tell you,
she's not qualified for legal aid though, Rao. Would she take her?
But that's what I was told too by other lawyers. I wasn't qualified as well. But this one found a way to sorry. Okay. I think that's what I said. I think they are better than each other.
Yeah.
So this particular one, if she tells you you're not qualified, then maybe indeed you're not qualified. But I mean, try your luck, because she helped me. I heard from 20 others that said I wasn't qualified, and then all of a sudden this one got it for me.
Yeah.
So I'll send her contacts through the WhatsApp number on the screen, and give her a call, and then go from there.
This is what we're looking for. Thank you so much, bro.
No problem.
This is what we need. We need information and valid advice. Thank you so much, Rao. You continue to roll to good health, long life, prosperity. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
As you've delivered me from R to Ro, I have to praise you and pray for you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No problem. I just really hope that she's able to help and it goes through. She's a fantastic solicitor. When I tell you, she'll give you advice as well. The best way to do it, if it's wise to meet him, when best to call. And one thing I know I did that helped him with my case, because even though I left for 4 months, he tried to pull the whole, I abandoned the children and all that didn't fly in courts. That was all a lie. Nobody believed him. So it didn't go anywhere.
Don't forget to tell her about the prayer you were doing. Are you going to forget that? Your night vigil. Please tell Amanda, because she needs to know.
To me, my story, if I start my story, a whole day will just not be.
No, just tell her only that little bit about those fire prayer you were praying, and she needs to hear it.
What I'll just say is, just be patient. Be patient with the whole thing, and make sure you don't do anything behind your lawyer. I made sure that every step, everything I did was always run through my lawyer. Sometimes it looks like you're disturbing them because time is their money, is their time. But I didn't care, because I needed to make sure he didn't use, he doesn't come back and then it backfires. So I needed to make sure that I was making the right decision. So make sure that anything you are doing whatsoever is done with the knowledge of your lawyer, because you just don't know the implication. I don't know how the people flipped, against you. And then I'm also quite worried about him coming to take the children. If you are the primary carer of the children, why does he have the right to take the children without your permission? I mean,
when it was supposed
it doesn't make sense.
when the time that he was supposed to take them
He didn't
during
show.
the he didn't show. But the minute this evil woman told her that Amanda has gone to Nigeria,
Yeah. Then also,
been...
where's the social worker? I don't understand. Did you inform the social worker before leaving Nigeria? Because that's another thing again. People should have advised you. That's another thing. She could have advised you to say, don't go just because he's autistic. It's not a wise decision.
Yeah.
Because they have more experience and they know the way these people behave, especially men in this kind of situations. Probably should have advised you against it. Maybe that's why she took a step back when all of this blew out and it looked like she wasn't coming forward. Otherwise, she should have stood up to defend you, to say no, you can't take the children, return them back. It's kidnapping. It's kidnapping because he's not the primary care. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. How is allowed to get away with
because
that?
Because she left the children with a trusted friend.
Yes, which is okay.
To be honest,
to do so. It's okay.
The social worker tried to help me. Sorry to cut you, but to be honest, she tried to help me in the sense that she sent me an email telling me that as soon as I get a house, I should call her and let her know, because as in when I came in, I was homeless. So it was getting the house that was now the issue, and obviously it had gone into a different borough, but she was still willing to assist me, like once I got the house, to get the children back.
Yeah, also, I want to say something. The previous caller talked about going through the domestic abuse route. That's also very, very helpful because they don't consider things like, oh, you're in indefinite leave or you don't have a visa. They don't consider things like that. Even as much as that child was born in the UK, they will give you everything you need. In fact, get a house and put it in your name.
Yes.
So
that's what people don't know.
Things. Yeah.
Abuse is the easiest way to get yourself settled.
The best way to get out, yes. Because they will enter you into the system as though you are coming newly into the country. Yeah. So they reset everything for you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right, no problem at all.
Love you.
No problem. Okay, all right. I'll send a message now.
All right.
The name. All right. No problem at all.
Okay. Thank you so much. So we are getting somewhere. We're getting some very, very good advice. We're getting counsel. And we're getting some deep wisdoms. People are asking if Amanda doesn't have family. She doesn't have family. How many of us have family in the abroad? Family are in Nigeria. Nigerian family cannot help you when you're going through this. People, ask questions that, bring some solution, not be asking questions about family. Which family? If family was involved and family can do something, are we going to be here? Unapologetically me. You want to cut my mouth with this kind of what did I do to you? Unapologetically. You're welcome.
Yeah. Hi, Bri.
Hi.
Yes. Hello, Amanda.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I don't want to go back to the mistakes because that's been done. And for you to be here, it's a way forward and it's a step forward in the right direction. And that's why you're here and you're already moving in the right direction. And I pray that, all the wisdom, the counsel through Bri and many of the Obodo family that has already been speaking up, it will come forth and there will be a positive outcome in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Yeah. Yes, so my own little bit, I'm not really good with children's social work, although we've had some callers that said some things. But I just want you to know that even if you've been in touch with social worker or had some involved previously, each case worker have different ways of working.
Yeah.
So there are different ways of intervention. So the previous one could have done it and not been successful. But when you have another caseworker, the way the person will go about it will be different and will actually have a positive outcome. So don't get fixated on the idea that you've already been involved with a social worker. When you call, that's someone has already suggested to you, advised you to make another call regarding safeguarding concern. Okay. And one thing I want you to know is that there's going to be lots of information overload today. So Bri is already, she's taking notes, and I would advise you that when you have a chat with Bri later, you have a notebook because this is something that
here already.
All right, yeah, that's
She's
great. You
prepared.
know,
She came prepared.
you came prepared, which is great. So you have to write those things, and as you are doing them, you'll be taking it, and so that you'll be able to. Because if not, you know, one will get to miss some things that you want
Yeah.
to
And
do.
she'll probably need to watch this video all over again. You know that,
Again,
Amanda.
yes,
Mhm.
that's great. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So you have to make that report, that concern again as a safeguarding concern, so it will be picked up, as the previous scholars have said, and with prayers, and even, you know, just with the right process, the caseworker that could be it could be given to would work in a different way that would actually bring up a good outcome. You understand? So they
Yeah.
have processes, and the safeguarding concern would be raised, and they have to follow it up. So that's
Okay.
one. Then another thing is for you to make a self-referral. I'm very glad that you're someone that's you sound very confident, and you can advocate also for yourself. So
Okay.
make a self-referral, which is to call the victim support.
Okay.
Women's Aid and Victim Support, they are agencies that help people with domestic violence. So
Okay.
don't mind that you've already been to Women's Aid. Call
Mhm.
Victim
Go back
Support
to them again.
also.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So there are even different agencies, but they have the same working systems, you know. So they liaise with each other, or they could take you up separately. But make that self-referral to victim support, because they too have different ways of working with people with domestic violence. They have an officer that's usually of domestic violence abuse officer, something like that, caseworker. So they usually have them, the victim
Okay.
support agency, and they would link you up immediately. And they have a multi-agency that they would actually. So there are lots of agencies that would be willing to work with you under that abuse. You know, so it's going to be flagged up, and they'll be ready to work with you. So, and as the previous scholar said, using domestic abuse guys, you know, they could actually help you to sort your papers, even though you have no recourse to public funds.
Yeah.
So all those things, they would work. There's a multi-agency. They would work with the children with disability social service. They would work with the children's social service. You know, I mean, the one that will be working maybe allocated to your 7-year-old. So there's going to be various agencies involved with you. And the one thing I would also stress again is always ensure that you write, either it's appointments or call back. Maybe they want a feedback or something. Make sure you do it.
Document
So because
everything. Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
always document, and always call back if they want you to make a call, if they want you to give them a feedback at so time. Always
Mhm.
do that. So because
Yeah.
you know it's what you are, you know what you are trying to aim for, to your goal, and so you have to keep on.
Thank
Don't
you.
get you've you, you've even from what you've said, I'm sure you didn't even say too much, but then one
Yeah.
could understand you've
She
really gone through a
summarized it.
lot. You
Yeah. She
summarized it, and
summarized it.
for you
Yeah.
to have come through to this, you know,
Mm.
you have enough tools and in you to actually go the next level. So,
Yeah.
and with Bree and the Obodo family that would also still call and everything, we would surely have another wonderful testimony like Bree gave
Amen.
this morning. So
Amen.
just keep it up,
Amen.
and don't beat yourself. It's been
Yeah.
done. Move on, move forward. Just move.
Yeah.
And as Bree said, never enter into that mediation with your husband alone. Go
Mm-hmm.
with a lawyer. Don't even take a friend. Go
Mm-hmm.
with a lawyer. That is the
Yeah.
best I would
It
tell
has to,
you.
everything has to be
Has
documented
to be
now and
documented.
made
Go with a
legal,
lawyer.
even if it's not
Yes,
going to court.
yes. It's
Mediation, you can go with your lawyer and make sure
Yes,
that
it's
it's
very
all done
important.
properly.
And someone was talking about family. Family never wants to get involved where there is court issues or social work issues. So it's better for you to just go at it in this way that you are. God is already raising help for you, and He will
Amen.
continue to do it.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
Thank
so
you.
all the best. Yeah.
Amen.
Oh,
Take
Thank
care,
thank you
you.
so
Bray.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you,
Thank
Grace.
you.
Thank you for changing your name and making
I
me.
know you know it's great.
Thank you for changing your name and making my tongue want to cut because you
Oh my
unapologetically me now. You're no longer Grace. All right, we'll
Thank
jam.
you.
We'll jam in the other room. Thank you, sis. Love
All
you.
Thank
right. Take
you.
care. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Hmm.
you.
People think they can catch me out. I will recognize your voice. Florence, your connection is not good. Florence, sis. Can you disconnect and add yourself again? I've got Junior and we are rounding up now.
Hello?
If you just want to encourage Amanda, you just want to say a word to help her.
Yeah.
Fancy face, I can see you on the comment section. You never ever said
Hello?
anything
Hello?
before. Hello, Junior. I'll come to you in
Hello?
a minute. Hold on.
Mama, how have you been?
I'm fine. Junior,
All right.
you're live. Yeah.
Yeah, so, Mama, I want to thank you for everything you do,
Thank you.
honestly, for all the diaspora issues. You have been like a mother. Indeed, you're a mother, so I'm not surprised for
Thank you.
everything. And I just want to pray for that woman. And I say, that your kids will come back and you
Amen.
Amen.
have eternal peace and eternal rest,
Amen.
Amen.
and God will favor you in
Amen.
Amen.
all ramifications of your life.
Amen.
In
Amen.
Jesus' name.
Amen.
Mama,
Amen.
Mama, please, I want us to talk about, there's this issue that bothers me a lot, but I don't know whether you're aware of it. Are you
Okay.
aware that there's a beef between African Americans, and Caribbeans?
There's a beef.
Yeah, there's a beef, a big problem. I want us
Mm.
to talk about it. Number
Uh,
two, I want us to talk about Nigerian election.
oh no, Junior. No, thank you.
Ah,
No, I don't do politics. You already know. You know me.
oh,
That's
no,
not
no, no, no,
my.
no. I mean, like, no, not like, I know, I'm not like, how do I put it? Like,
No, I
elect.
don't do politics. You know what I do. So no.
Oh, okay, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Because,
No, thank you.
all right, but we
I
can talk
appreciate
about the
that.
first one, right? The first one.
No, even that I'm not going to talk about it. It's all
Oh,
love here. Those who
oh,
love
okay.
us will be with us.
Oh,
The issue about the beef that you're talking about it goes back to a long time ago. Nobody has the solution.
yeah, nobody has a solution.
Nobody has the solution. People hold people responsible for what they didn't do, but all we need is love. That's all I
All right.
say. Okay,
Mm.
we got people that are African Americans here. We got
Yeah, I
Caribbeans
know
here.
they're lovely
I
people,
mean,
but when I
yeah,
see the beef, I was like, why?
we
We're
cannot
not
solve the
working
whole
together.
problem of the world. We'll take what we can do and we'll focus on it. Okay.
All right. Sorry
Thank you
for
so
this.
much.
Sorry for the
No, no,
wrong
no, no,
message.
no, no, no. Don't be sorry, Junior. You've always been very amazing. I saw the topics. Did you check my Instagram? Go to my
No.
Instagram. I posted one of those topics you sent to me. Go and check my Instagram. You see it. I
Oh,
posted it a few days ago and it generated a lot of discussion, and I'm going to bring it here. Okay.
all
I
right.
welcome your suggestion, but it's just, we have a
Bad
niche
timing.
now. Yeah.
Bad
No, no, it's
timing.
not bad timing. Is the what we are focusing on in this channel is real life issues, real life situations, and bringing
All right.
people to
All
share
right.
their experiences. So we don't want to get distracted
All
by
right.
talking about all those other things. Other channels talk about it. So it's fine.
All right. No problem. All right.
All right, sweetie. Take care, my love.
And you too.
Always happy to hear from you, Junior. Love
And
you.
all right.
Bye,
We love
sweetheart.
you. Bye.
Bye bye. Right. Okay. I've got Eno and Florence. Let me add Florence. Hi, Florence.
Hello, hi, good evening.
Hi, good
Good
evening.
evening.
You're welcome,
Hi,
sweet.
Amanda. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good evening.
Okay. Yeah. I did join a little bit late, but I heard when you said that the women's aid referred you to something sisters.
This is
And I
another
was
junior.
wondering,
Hold on. Is this another junior? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Florence. This is not our junior. Guys, this is not our junior. It sounds different. Oh, okay. It's another junior. It's another junior. He said I should talk about the issue of Caribbean and African American. Hey, by me. What am I going to say? We should start talking about slave trade. Hey, by me. We're here with the issue of Amanda. We've not finished solving it. Now you want me to come and talk about world issues. Like this issue is more than my grandfather. Okay.
yeah. Oh,
Okay, I got
so
you.
yeah.
Thank you.
So Amanda, I was wondering if it's Sat or Black Sisters.
Yes, that was it. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I said, Auntie B, the other time, I'm a health visitor, and I've also worked with the MASH team.
Okay.
And yeah, and I've had a couple of clients that the Black South or Black Sister did help. So if they know about your case and they've helped you before, and the advice that's been given today with regards to legal, if it doesn't work, I think that maybe you should approach them again because they
Okay.
are able to support you. They have lawyers
Oh, I see.
that
Okay.
can support you. Yes, so those lawyers can support you. And then the other issue I wanted to talk was about you calling children's services, which is to report the case. Already,
Yeah.
I think Amanda said she has reported the case. And whatever that comes through the front house, which is MASH, will be recorded on the system. So
Yeah.
that's already been recorded. The only thing she needs to do is where the new borough where the children have gone to,
Yeah.
she needs to call that new borough and then inform them that your mom that's to make a self-referral to the new borough so
Yeah.
that the children's services in the new borough knows about you,
Yeah.
that dad
Okay.
is denying you access to your
Yes.
children so
Yes.
that they can make a referral and the children can be children in need, like they can be child in need, because
Yeah.
actually there's domestic violence, you're not being able to see your children. So what you want is now that they've gone to a new borough, you need that new borough to know about you and they will be able to intervene in whatever is happening.
Okay. That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. Thank you so much, Florence.
Yeah.
That
Thank
didn't occur to
you.
me before. Yeah. Amanda, you see how you were
Yeah.
living in another borough where you have social services. This new borough where your children are now, you need to contact their social services immediately.
Mm.
Like Monday, do this. Okay? Makes a
Okay.
whole lot of sense because they will now open up
Do
a
you
case
know?
file.
Yeah,
They will open a case
yeah,
file and then they will even, you can even tell them that the problem started from the borough where you were living, and they can even
yeah.
get the information back on the files and everything that's happened within the family.
Yeah, because it's likely that the new borough don't even know that dad has these children and that these children, that there was concern previously, from the other borough. So they need to know about it as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you
Mm.
so
Okay.
much.
All right.
Florence,
Okay.
I
Bye.
appreciate you.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank
sweetheart.
you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Auntie
Yeah.
B, sorry, can I say something? Of a true thing, the borough I'm dealing with is the new borough. The only thing that I've not done is to self-refer myself, to
Okay.
them.
You
But
should. Yeah. You
yeah,
should. You
yeah.
should. Yeah. Keep calling them. You don't know social services. You see, they are bombarded with a lot of cases. So your own is not priority. Okay,
Okay.
you have to
Yeah.
keep calling, don't relent, because you know what, social services, you see some workers, they have so many cases, they are tired, they are
Oh,
so tired, you know.
okay.
But if you are this one that is like a bone in their throat, they can't
Okay.
swallow you, they can't spit you out, they will have no choice but to listen to you. Okay, so
Yeah.
Junior, it's not you. No, I was thinking that it's my Junior that is. Junior said I should talk about the issue of African American and Caribbean and Niger. Junior, I thought it's you. Okay. All right. We got one person still waiting. Later. We got later. I got you. Hello, later.
Hi, Auntie B.
How are you?
Fine. Good evening. Good
Good
evening,
evening,
everyone.
sweetie. What do you have to say?
Good evening. Amanda, unfortunately, I haven't got any experience with what you're going through, and I'm just hoping that a lot of people that do have will come into the studio and help you. And to be really, I'm going to make this very brief, and it's for you. I just want to appreciate you for all that you're
Oh,
doing. Because
oh,
a lot of, I have been following the things, Ella, the lady in Canada, and the pots of people coming up to help people in different countries. You don't even know what you are doing. I want you to know that in fact, my heart, I want to cry because I watch this program, and a lot of people that are lonely, a lot of people that are going through stuff that under normal circumstance would not have the privilege and the opportunity to be helped. But God has put you there as like a pillar, like a lighthouse, I would call you, Auntie B,
Thank
a
you.
lighthouse. Your
Thank
children,
you.
not only will your children enjoy this, not only will your children's children be blessed, but if Jesus tarries, their generation, for the seed you are sowing and the help you are giving to those that are voiceless, the generation, this earth will speak for you, Auntie B. I
Amen.
am so
Amen.
grateful
Thank
to you.
you.
You are a woman and a voice in our generation, and a
Thank
lot of
you.
love. My heart goes out to you for what you are doing for women that are broken, for women
Thank
that are
you.
hurting, for men that are hurting, for
Thank
rising
you.
up in this day, in today, in this. I am so grateful for your life, and thank you. I just wanted to appreciate you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, Auntie B.
Thank
God
you.
bless
I
you.
remember your voice. Your name has changed as well. You guys keep changing your name to confuse me. But I
Sorry,
know
Auntie
my
B.
people. I know my people. So Annie, you're welcome. Thank you so much, my love. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So Amanda,
Yes.
I think Dupe has already sent me something on WhatsApp. I will have a look at it later and then I will forward it to you. She sent some information on my WhatsApp. And if you are catching this on later on,
Yeah.
please, if you live in the UK, I implore you to please reach out to me so that we can help Amanda. She is not perfect. She is been thrown into an imperfect situation. She's made mistakes. She acknowledges that. Let's not punish her. The important thing you guys need to keep in mind is her children. Are they being cared for properly? This guy is working. Okay? He is not available to care for her children. These are three children, and one of them has special needs. How many women out there wants to care for another woman's children from their husband or partner's previous relationship? Much more, one of them is special needs. Nobody. Okay? Nobody. Okay, because looking after children in this part of the world, it is not an easy thing. And looking after a child with special needs, added stress, responsibility, your time, your energy. You need a lot of patience to be able to deal with a child who's got special needs. And no woman can do it because they are married to their father. They will tell you, you are not my problem. We don't know what these children think about those children. What are they going through? Amanda went to see her daughter in school and she was in pieces because her children were not being cared for. Guys, focus. Forget about this junior matter. Okay? Please focus. We are looking for information and advice. What can Amanda do to get her children back? This man has been collecting benefits for all the children, including the one with special needs. I need water. Can you get me water from the fridge, please? Okay. Thank you, love. I got cold water there. I want the cold one, okay? So, what can she do to get her children back? This is the information and advice we are seeking. So, all of you in the studio tonight, and those who will be catching this is my contact. You can contact Amanda directly, but you can contact me and I will link you. We need help. Okay, we need help. Amanda, do you have something to say to add to this before we end?
Um, well, I just want to appreciate you for giving me a platform to air my voice. I also want to appreciate the wonderful people that God puts in my way. I cannot mention their names, but most of them are here right now, as in you know yourselves. So we don't give ourselves out, but I just want to give God praise for all of you, and I pray that this thing works out, and I just give God praise. Thank you.
It's well with you, okay? It is well. Okay, I advise you to watch this video, watch this show all over again from the beginning. Look at the comment section. There's some wisdom there. Obviously there's a lot of nonsense there as well. But just, go through it and listen to the advice and then, yeah, we'll take it. The good thing about this show is that this is not the end though. When the show is over, that's when a lot of people are silent watchers. They don't comment, they don't say a word. But after the show, that's when you will see people spring into action. Okay? They spring into action. They've done it for other women before. And I believe strongly that they will do it for you, Amanda. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Do not despair. Don't despair. It's not over. You will have your children again. Okay? You will have them again by the grace of God. Okay? Don't
Mm,
cry. Pray instead. Okay?
yeah,
It is well with you.
amen.
Now that we're ending, I have two people in the studio again. Yeah, well, okay, two minutes because we need to end. We've got Sister Angel in the studio. Hello, Sister Angel.
Hello. I didn't really want to say anything today. I love your program.
Thank you,
Amanda,
ma'am.
I was so touched. I came in late because I came in from church late. I just came to love this program so much. I thank God for the lady that prayed for you, Obodoyibo. You are a woman of God.
Thank you, ma.
What you are doing, many people, I don't know how to express my love for what you are doing, but
Thank
you
you,
will
ma.
soon get to know me better.
Yeah.
Amanda, I am a victim of abuse. Still, I'm still in court, but I've come to encourage you to be strong.
Mm.
The lady that spoke when I came in was talking about how God led her through, and the woman, our precious mother here, said, "Tell her how she prayed. It
Mm-hmm.
is only prayer that brought back my children. I signed them off for a man that I love with all my heart, trusted. Not till I said I want to do something, he turned around to be the person I don't know. So, but today, it's like I'm still dreaming. I'm seeing it. But I'm telling you that it was prayer that brought my children back. No system, the system, I don't know what the system, I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
So that
System
is,
can
yeah.
fail. System can fail
As
you.
thank
System is
you.
good, but they fail.
Yeah, it's good, but me, I don't know the system. I was locked
Mm.
up for 16 years in America, believing that he loves me, he didn't want me to work. So, but not knowing that he was using us to make his money. But I want to tell you today, the day I stood up, I started doing something for myself. Okay, don't work outside. I started making daycare in the house. I decided to register, and he came back and saw that I got a scholarship. He said I have to close it down, or else there's no marriage.
Yeah.
That
I
is
think
the
you told
state
us
I'm
this
in.
story before,
So I'm
sister.
going to tell you right now,
Mm-hmm.
trust
Mm-hmm.
God, hold God, pray
Mm-hmm.
at night. If you don't know how to wake up, pray. That is when they are doing it. Tell God in the morning things will change. I don't know how my children came back to me. Oh. I have signed them off without knowing what they wrote. I didn't have a
Mm-hmm.
lawyer sitting by, but God did it, and my children came back to me. Go and listen to all they have told you. The right person will come your way that will help you in
Amen.
this system. In Jesus'
Amen.
name,
Amen.
amen.
Thank you,
God
sister. We
bless you.
appreciate you, ma. God bless you, ma.
God bless you, ma. God bless you. I love you.
Thank you. I love you too, sis.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Okay. So the last but not the least caller, Miata. Hello,
Hello,
Miata.
Auntie B.
Hello. I like your tone. You sound so happy.
I'm the last caller. I have to be happy.
Good.
Auntie B, good afternoon. Well, over here in America, it's afternoon. I guess over there is evening, right? Good
Yes.
evening, Amanda. I
Mhm.
was just calling. I just want to encourage you that definitely you are going to have your children back by God's grace. This
Amen.
show is a show of solution.
Amen.
Auntie B is a woman of solution. Trust me.
Amen. I like that.
All the
Solution focus.
all the people that she has bring onto this show. I've been following up, and to be, I've been following up with everybody. Oh, I've followed up
Have you
with
been
Joy.
following? Have you been
Ella is
following?
my sister. Yes,
It's
so
God, though.
trust
Let me
me,
tell you
all
something,
of them.
Nata. For the first time since
Mhm.
I came to YouTube, 4 years
Uh-huh.
I've been here. I
Yeah.
don't check. I don't check my subscriber counts. I don't check my
Wow.
views. I am
Mm-hmm.
fulfilled,
Yeah.
100%, 200% fulfilled by what God is doing
Yes.
on the platform. I don't even care about all that stuff
It's
anymore.
your
All I care
calling.
about
It's your
now
calling, Auntie
is
B.
how
It
these
is your
ladies,
calling.
I'm checking up on them. I don't even check for the first
Yeah.
time. I used to be so obsessed with subscription, number of views, and
Yeah.
all that. It doesn't matter to me now.
Yeah, you're touching lives, Auntie B. I can tell you that for sure. Because I've talked to the women and the ones that you've helped afterwards. Trust me, you don't even know what you're doing. You're really, really touching lives. So
We
I
thank
just
God.
want to encourage Amanda, trust me, everything is going to be fine. And I
Amen.
just feel like I have two kids right now. And trust me, the way they run me crazy, I can tell you for sure the reason why he's calling and wanting to mediate is
Yeah, the
because
wife
they're
is tired.
tired. They're
Yeah.
tired. And
Tired.
can you imagine
Yeah.
having
Who wants another
a
person's
special need?
children? It's not
Yeah.
easy.
Another
Hmm.
person's children and a special need child, trust me, they're tired. So this is your time to take advantage of that because they are tired. The daddy's not home. The woman is tired of taking care of somebody else's kids. So trust me, you're gonna get your kids back. Just continue to pray to God and listen to this show again, go through the comments and see what people wrote there. Some people didn't call in, but they wrote some stuff, in the comment
Mhm.
section. Write everything down. Just trust me, you're gonna get your kids back, and we're waiting for the testimonials. And Auntie
Amen.
B,
Amen.
for you,
Amen.
thank you so 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 much. You're doing great, and God is gonna continue to bless you and your family.
Amen.
And oh, another thing, Auntie B, I said it in the comment, but I didn't think you catch it. But I
Yeah.
feel like one thing that is similar to most of all, like the last four stories that I've noticed is the
Hmm.
fact that most of these women that come over here to the abroad, I noticed that the little, like the small things they're missing. So
Yeah.
maybe we can put together
Yeah,
a
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
show where
I
people
saw
can
that.
just give those information.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
Mm.
yeah,
problem with
because
that is that
look like
it
how she
changes.
left to go.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
problem is that it
Yeah,
changes.
that's true.
So
It's
whatever
so
information you
much.
have now might
Yeah,
not be relevant in 6 months or 1 year. That's the thing.
that's true.
What we
That's
need to
true.
do is to educate people to keep looking and checking before they take any
Yes.
steps. Like if
Yes.
Amanda
Yes.
had checked, she would know that she didn't need to go to Nigeria because her passport, she was
Yes.
worried her passport and her visa was going to expire. And that's why she went to
Yes.
Nigeria. If
You
she
see?
knew she had that information, she would just stay
Yeah.
put. So your visa is expired. Big deal. You got children here. 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's
Yeah.
going to deport you.
And a special need one too. Trust me, the special need
Exactly.
children in these countries, they even have more rights than me that doesn't
Yeah.
have a special need.
Yeah, we
So
just need to just
yeah,
keep telling our people to information. Look for it.
information is key.
Google is
And
your
another thing
friend.
also, we have to make sure, like when we come to these countries, don't just sit in that your close knit African community. Make
Community.
friends with different nationalities, people that know different things, so that they will educate you. They'll let you know about, because I noticed that in our own African community, sometimes they will know information, but they will hide it. And then sometimes they don't know. So you don't know. You would only know if you branch out. So that's another
Mhm.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you
All right,
so
Auntie
much.
B, thank you
I
so much.
appreciate
Have a
you.
good
You made me
one.
feel good.
Thank
Have a
you.
good.
Thanks so much.
All
Thank you so
right.
much, sweetheart.
Bye
Love
bye.
you. Bye
Love you.
bye. Right. So this week, before we go forward, Fancy face, I've been telling you to come into the studio. You refuse to come. You stayed on this show from the beginning to the end. You refuse to come. I'm still trying to get you to come and speak. You will one day. In Jesus' name. I proclaim it. I receive it. I confess it. I speak it to existence. All right, guys. Amanda, okay.
Yes.
You've done very well. Okay, you put yourself
Thank
out
you.
there. How do you feel?
I feel a bit of relief, to know that at least there's a solution, and I think it's just a matter of time.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I want you to take away from there, from tonight. You're going to have your kids back by the grace of God. But don't
Amen.
forget what a lot of people say. You need to pray. Okay?
Yeah.
As we
Yeah.
are doing all these things, if you were lazy in prayer, if you love your children, that passion. You remember your labor, how you were screaming and speaking in tongues? Use that same passion to be praying. If you didn't know how to read the Bible, this is the time. Prayer works. Okay?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. I'll speak to you later. And then, of course, we'll connect all the information. I will
Mm.
link you up to everybody that's coming forward. Okay?
Okay. Thank you
You'll
so
be
much,
okay.
Auntie B. I
You'll
really
be okay.
appreciate.
All right,
Thank
sweetheart.
you. God
All
bless
right.
you.
God bless you too, my love. Right, guys, we're going to draw the curtains here today. Thank you so much, everyone. And I'm still appealing to everyone who's going to catch this on playback later on. If you are not here, because I do appreciate that we live very, very busy lifestyle here in the abroad. And if you're watching this on playback, please contact me if you have any information and advice that can help Amanda. She needs to get her kids back, that her kids are suffering because this uncle and his new wife cannot care for them. That is the fact. They cannot. So the children are suffering. They need their mother. She doesn't even mind. Let him continue to collect benefits. She just wants her children. She doesn't want the benefit. Let the man collect whatever he can collect. She just wants to have her children. What can she do? She's not qualified for legal aid. All right? And let me tell you, children with special needs, autistic children, they pay them a lot of disability, especially this one that her own case is even the one that the child was, verbal. It was a child that was just growing and meeting all the developmental milestones until, according to her, he took the vaccine. I tell you guys, I didn't used to believe in all these vaccine people that say, you know, anti-vaccine that say if you take vaccine, this will happen. But when Amanda told me that the child took MMR vaccine and that's when all this wahala started, I was shocked. So apparently, children react differently to all this vaccine. May God help us. If you don't take it, it's wahala. You take it again, it's wahala. What can we do? Olúwa Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè. Ràn wá lọ́wọ́ o. So please reach out to me if you're watching this on playback. If you have any information and advice that can help Amanda, please let us know. Thank you very much. Ikunle Abiomo, think about your own children and what it will mean to you if somebody takes your children away. It's not like he's available to look after them. Oh. He's working and leaving them with this woman that is fed up. You don't want somebody else to raise your children. You don't want somebody else to abuse or neglect your children not because they don't love them. Nobody can love your children like you, but because they are overwhelmed. 3 children raised by a woman that is not their biological mother. She is tired. She doesn't want to see them. She's tired because she has her own children. So this was a malicious, orchestrated act. Unfortunately, because Amanda was, she made a mistake of leaving her children to go to Nigeria with a so-called frenemy, and that woman capitalized on it, called her ex-husband, took the children, and that is where we are here today. Think about it. Yeah, she made a mistake. She acknowledges it. She's repented of it. But if you have never ever made a mistake, that's when you come on this video and start throwing shade. If you are perfect, okay, thank God we are people that are not perfect. We acknowledge our mistakes and our errors every day. But God is merciful. God shows us benevolence. He shows us mercy. And it's with that mercy of God that I beg you today, if you have any information and advice that can help Amanda, please reach out to me. My contact is on the screen. Use it. Reach out to me. Let's help Amanda get her children back. She's the only one that can care for them, love them, and look after them the way they deserve. Thank you very much, guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you've this conversation has been beneficial to you in one way or the other, and you've learned one thing and you just enjoyed the show. Support us by subscribing and always share. Information is something our people lack a lot, and we are trying to teach our people that information is power. Oyibo people, they make the system work for them. But our people, because we don't have the knowledge, we don't have the information, we suffer. But again, we are immigrants. Now another man country we carry our leg come. If our country good, we no go dey here. Okay, so let's help one another. Thank you to everybody that has reached out. Thank you to all the contributors tonight. Thank you for your prayer, your kind words. I pray that God will reward each and every one of us according to what we have done. Thank you so much. And I'm back on Tuesday night. Okay, so Tuesday night, we are back. What's Tuesday night? Let me just quickly give you guys a quick synopsis of what is going to happen on Tuesday. Tuesday night is the 10th. I'm bringing that woman from Germany. I shared a bit of her video the other night, and she's coming to tell us everything that's happened in her situation. Yeah, on Tuesday night. So this week is going to be, oh my God. This week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Oh my God. Lord, help me. Because on Sunday, I have decided to share that story about my friend in the US. On Sunday. I'm sharing it next Sunday. But we got other ladies coming Tuesday and on Thursday. Okay? So keep it locked down here. Subscribe. Keep your notification bell. And I will speak to you in my next video. Thank you so much, everyone. Anti-fancy face, you must next time. I will send you the link and make sure you are here. Thank you so much, everyone. I love you guys very much from the bottom of my heart. Let us continue to look out for each other, for one another. We are immigrants. We are foreigners in this land. Wherever you are in the diaspora, you are a foreigner. Okay? We can only help one another. Don't wait for people to help you. Oyibo people, they don't send us. Now only us go fit help one another. Let us continue to do the little we can to help one another. I love you guys very much. Thank you so much for tonight. And I will see you on Tuesday, 7 p.m. GMT. Thank you very much. I love you and God bless you. Have a good evening. Have a great week ahead. Bye-bye.